Hey friends, family, all y'all, Merry Christmas. Well, not Merry Christmas anymore. Christmas is what, a couple days over now. I hope it was a fantastic time for every single one of you. We're here today, here in my living room, sort of. You got Stephen over here. We both share the same haircut. Crystal with the wild hair. And my favorite 12-year-old in the whole world, this is Faith. She's here to help us out and just kind of hang out today and chat for a bit about some Christmas stuff that happened. I wonder, how many people still have Christmas decorations up right now? Still have them up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how long do they stay up? I mean, how long is it okay to leave them up? Do they get down by the President's Day birthday or Valentine's Day? Is that weird?
Yeah.
If they're still up at Easter time, you are officially, man, on Santa's naughty list for next year. No, I get it, man. It's fun to leave those things up and have fun with that. In our family, sometimes the Christmas decorations go down, bam, right away because we got to get the new stuff up for whatever's coming next. I wonder, what was the best part about Christmas for you? We're going to chat here about that, and I wonder what you guys think. I'm going to have you text me. What'd you get for Christmas that you really liked? You can text me right now. I'm not sure I'll interact with it on the phone right here, right now, but I'd love to hear from you. What did you get for Christmas? What are your best memories of Christmas time this year, especially Christmas 2020? Hopefully there was some really good things here. I know for some people the best part of Christmas is that my family came. Other parts of people will say the worst part of Christmas was my family came. Or the best part of Christmas was my family is leaving in 2 days. You know, I don't know what that's all about, but it's just fun with Christmas time and the traditions of Christmas and nativity scenes and Frosty the Snowman and the reindeers and all that fun stuff. Santa Claus is a fun part of Christmas. And I was looking around and I found this great letter. Now, this is well, you'll just see. Those of you that love nice, soft, Santa stuff, this will not be that. Dear Santa, this is from Jeremy. I am writing this on the day after Christmas, and I am very sad. I only received one of the 2 presents I asked you for. Since you know what I want, I will assume that my missing gift was a mistake. I will give you 1 week to fix this. Like, that's pretty good. So Santa Claus wrote back, Dear Jeremy, I'm sorry you're disappointed with your presents. You asked for 2 very expensive presents and Santa can only do so much. You need to learn to be grateful for what you have, not upset about what you don't. If you continue to complain, I will have no choice but to add you to the naughty list next year. You wonder, what's going to happen with Jeremy? What's going to happen there? Well, Jeremy wrote back. Dear Fatty.
What?
Yeah, terrible. Your threats don't scare me. I played your game and you did not deliver. This is not okay. I will give you 1 week and then you'll pay. Dear Jeremy. Santa writes back.
All right.
Some of you are going, why did we join into this Sunday gathering after Christmas? You're being a very bad little boy because you cannot be happy with what you have. I have talked to your parents and told them to take away your Wii U. Now you have nothing. Once you learn to be grateful, perhaps you can have it back. I am very disappointed in you, Jeremy. You'll need to be an extra good boy this year if you want to make it back on the nice list. And you'd think, well, that'll solve it, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy wrote back.
Okay.
Oh, this is not nice. Dear Santa, I do not like that stunt you pulled with my parents. You are on my naughty list now, so be afraid. You look slow and easy to hurt. Enjoy your cookies next year because they will be filled with poison.
Oh.
Love, Jeremy. That's terrible. That's terrible. Jeremy was awful and terrible. Never do that. We actually have some fun letters to Santa here that Stephen and Crystal and Faith are going to read for you. I think, Stephen, you got a couple of them there for us, or Crystal?
Yeah, I'll get us started. So this says, Dear Santa, here's my list. iPad, craft stuff, candy, clothes, shoes, a better life, no school. And the next one says, Dear Santa, you better bring my pony this year or there will be consequences.
All right, so I've got one that says, Dear Santa, I gave you 2 cookies because I don't want you to get fat and I want you to be healthy. I do not like it when people call you fat. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Thank you, love, Sully. And then there's another one here. Dear Santa, no cookies for you this year. You need to go on a diet.
Oh gosh, yeah. That guy just made the naughty list, or that girl, whoever it was. Faith, you got a couple here.
Yes. Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is a little sister, but not right now. In like 2 years. Love, Samantha.
Yeah.
And then I have another one. Dear Santa, I flushed my brother's head in the toilet. Can I have a puppy?
So here's one. Dear Santa, if you want to grab a beer, feel free to drink it. Drink a lot or just one. P.S. The fridge is near the door. And then Santa actually wrote back on this. He said, just one was great, thank you.
And then Faith, you have some really cool ones here to wrap this up.
Yes.
Some of these fun ones here. Read them, for us.
Dear Santa, how are you and the reindeer doing? I am doing fine. I want a new football game and a football because my little brother always tries to steal mine. He may look sweet, but he is the devil. I also want a remote control truck.
Oh.
Love, Evan.
Oh, in that case, okay, sure, yeah.
Dear Santa, when it was Saturday, I thought I would try to be good the whole winter vacation, but it seems like I did not succeed. Will you bring me a present anyway? From Sophia.
And this is a really cool one here to wrap this up. We started off really kind of with Jeremy. This is a really sweet one to end it.
Dear Santa, my mom said to send you our Christmas list. I wanted a remote control car and a helicopter, but I don't want that anymore. Kids at school are still picking on Amber, and it's not fair because she didn't do anything to them. It makes me mad. I pray that they will stop, but God is busy and needs your help. Thanks, Santa.
Yeah, that good. Yeah, just fun holiday kinds of time right now. And we love the songs of the holidays and the Christmas season and all that. So here today on our last Sunday weekend gathering of the year, Crystal and Stephen are going to just take some time here. We're just going to sing together. Sing with us. Lyrics will come up here on the screen as well.
The weapon may be formed, but it won't prosper. And when the darkness falls, it won't prevail. 'Cause the God I serve knows only how to triumph. My God will never fail. Oh, my God will never fail. And I'm gonna see a victory. And I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see a victory. And I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see a victory. And I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see a victory. And I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. Yeah, you take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. Yeah,
Steven's making some adjustments to getting the capo on the guitar too. It just struck me as you were singing that. What the enemy meant for evil, turn it for good. 2020 meant for evil in all kinds of ways. Just watch what's going to happen. God's going to turn that for good.
Love incarnate, love divine, and star and angels gave the sign, and bow to babe on bended knee, the Savior of humanity. And unto us a child is born, and he shall reign forevermore. Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the
wasn't that good? Wow, thank you. Love that, the idea of come and see what God has done. And I think too, it's not just what God has done, come and see what God is doing, and then let's look ahead to what God's going to do.
Amen.
All that. That's been the story of what God's been about from the very, very beginning. 2020, was a tough year. Nobody wants to repeat 2020. Nobody will look back and go, let's go back and do that one again. That won't be our deal. But instead of just thinking about what was bad about here, as we turn the corner now from 2020 to 2021, let's take a look and take some time to think about here for a bit. What was some good things that happened in 2020? And we had a chance to chat with a few of you guys about that. So let me get these videos here. We got this here for you. Sent out our cameras and stuff and got a couple things here. Take a look.
2020 will forever be a year of extreme gratitude for me because it's the year that I beat cancer.
This year has been amazing in the sense that God has allowed for me to have time at home and be more with my kids.
2020 was great for me because Dodgers won the World Series.
I have an adorable grandson who was born in October. His name is Caden. He's grandma's pride and joy.
One good thing that came from 2020 was
I'm really happy this year because my husband, James, and I went out to see his brother in his new house for Thanksgiving.
Baby number 2 on the way, and that's a baby girl.
The opportunity to work from home and the opportunity to get more time with each other and with our son.
I'm thankful for early detection and eradication of cancer.
I got to save a life by donating a kidney to my friend. I went into surgery, not pregnant, morning of, and they forgot to check my pregnancy tests. Woke up post-op, and here we are.
8 more weeks.
Our family has grown from just one daughter to 3 kids. We were able to take in foster children during this time, and because we're working from home, we've been able to really bond and connect with them. Even if they're not going to be with us forever, just the time that we had with them, we know is such a gift.
Yeah, cool stuff out there. Beating cancer and babies and time at home, and maybe because of time at home, babies and all that kind of stuff. What was good for you guys in 2020?
Well, for me, right off the bat, my son got baptized at the top of the year, towards the beginning of the year. So for me, I want to echo everybody's sentiment. I love spending time with my family during this time too, but just the highlight, I think, for me was just seeing him make that ultimate commitment.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's the best. Yeah.
I would say just being grateful for work, like not knowing what was going to happen. And
But
being
when you're a teacher and you're doing on Zoom all day, and I heard that's horrible, awful, terrible, disgusting.
To still be able to be there with my students, knowing that they need me, but I need them just as much, and to have that interaction with them and the relationships we're still able to make. But I have a job.
Yeah.
Like that hasn't been over. I've been provided for. I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, and we'll hear from Faith in a bit, but we got her on video up there, and so you'll hear her thing that she was excited about in 2020 in just a couple of minutes. We have a little clip here in a second. I was thinking about it too. We were chatting with our staff team, sort of a quasi-Christmas party because nobody's allowed to have parties, especially in the People's Republic of California. So that's just the nature of things right now. For whatever you think about it, I get why they probably need to do that, trying to keep everything as much as possible, keep us as safe as possible. But thinking about it there, and usually when you come to the end of a year, you go back, look back and go, let's look back to 2020 and let's go, because there's not a lot that you're really super excited about compared to other years, especially about 2020. But I thought, we learned some things as parents, as students, as teachers and leaders in different organizations. And it's the kind of stuff that long after 2020 is over, and when the pandemic's over, and the vaccine, please God, crushes this thing out completely, and I'm not saying that facetiously or sarcastically, please God. But there's going to be some things that we're going to take with us long after this is over, some stuff that we would not have learned had we not gone through this, that's going to make us better parents, better leaders. It's going to make our organization stronger. I thought I would have won just a silly little thing like curbside pickup now, where they deliver groceries right to your car. Those grocery stores are going to keep doing it. They never would have figured that out had this thing not happened. I think there's been all kinds of things like that in our families. I just hope that we can figure some of that as we look ahead. I think too, for me, one of the things that happened here, gosh, I think it was probably 7 or 8 weeks ago. I was taking a walk on my golf course, kind of getting ready to wrap the series we did through 1 Peter up. And there's some verses there where Peter says, after you've suffered a little while, God will restore you, support you, strengthen you, and place you on a firm foundation. And it struck me then that in order for something to be restored, it had to be disstored. Some bad things had to happen. And when a home needs to be restored, there's some bad things that happen, a car, all those kind of things. And so when there's restoration needs to happen, it means there's been some trauma, some difficulty. But I heard God just say so clearly into my soul and spirit that, Steve, that's what I'm going to do for you, for your church, for Crosspoint in particular. There's some trauma and some difficulties, certainly, that we've gone through. And then he's going to place us on a firm foundation. I want to encourage you here, as we're turning the corner from 2020 into 2021, one of the best ways you can build and allow God to build a firm foundation for you this next year is to stay around people and get around people. We have our small groups that we do here. They meet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. Some of them meet on Saturday, some meet on Monday nights. All that and more. Find a group. Go to our website. Get plugged into a group. We have sign up the next 2 or 3 weeks now and start the middle part of January. It's one of the best things you'll be able to do to help, not to help God. God doesn't need our help, but to partner with God as it restores, supports, and strengthens your life for this next year. We got a couple more people we talked to. I want you to see some of these other people we talked to. Take a look at this.
One thing I'm thankful for in 2020 is that my family has stayed healthy this year.
2020, good job. I think the best that's happened so far in 2020 was Miranda having her baby girl.
Lots of family time that has changed the dynamics in our home for the better.
One thing I'm thankful for is just the fact that I'm being reminded constantly how blessed I am and the people around me are, even in the midst of just heartache and sadness, that there is not just beautiful things that have happened before that we get to hold on to, but beautiful things to come.
The best thing about 2020 was I became a middle school small group leader.
The Crosspoint Junior High Youth Group.
We were expecting to give birth to twins back in April. The staff began to tell us that they're cutting back on how many visitors were allowed at the hospitals. It was going to be twins, and so we weren't sure how Rochelle was going to be able to take care of 2 children, 2 newborns in the hospital by herself. In the middle of her pregnancy, she got kidney stones.
There's a lot of unknowns, and we didn't know what to expect.
Through lots and lots of prayer and patience and trust, thankfully, God allowed me to be there for her during that time, and now we have 2 beautiful, healthy boys.
My family is healthy, and that we're all able to come together and worship God and just continue to grow together.
I have 8 and a 9th grandchild on its way, and that's something I'm very thankful for. They're healthy.
I am so thankful I retired in 2020. It's amazing.
Yeah, all those are really, really fun. Let me get back to here. There we go. And so as we look at that, I know some of the stories there of people talking about their family got better by being together, which for a lot of people that put a lot more stress on some things, but it just forced some things to happen that probably wouldn't have happened in a lot of places. The blessings in life in the midst of the crisis. Faith was there talking about the junior high youth group and how exciting that, how fun that's been for her. It just, one quick little sidebar thing. I just think of this now. I worked with kids for probably 15 to 18 years as a student ministry director, pastor. And one of the things I watched parents do, this is a quick little, just for free for you parents out there that have students. I watched parents use the youth group. If their kids hated the youth group and they got in trouble, they made them come. If the kids loved the youth group and they got in trouble, they didn't let them come. And I want to tell you, parents, don't do either of those things. Make the youth group be a thing that's just what you do. Like, you eat food in this house and you go to youth group. Make it be part of their life, because it's going to be such a key part of the friends. And what you don't want to do is, if our youth leaders here have done a great job discipling your kids and wanting your kids to come and be with Christian friends and learn about Jesus, to take that away because they were a jerk and an idiot that week. They probably need the youth group all the more because of that. Keep that in mind. That's just a free thing for fun out there, because Faith mentioned that here. It's Christmas time. We'll start putting decor away. Christmas trees will either be taken out to the curb or taken apart and put up in a big box or bag or something like that. Wreaths come off the door. I think too of things like the nativity sets, the manger scenes that we have in our houses, and we put them all up. We wrap them with the little foam stuff and put them back in the little box like that. And you put Mary and Joseph in, and the camels and the zebras. I don't know if there's zebras at the thing, but I would have zebras in mine. All the things go back in, and it struck me that sometimes if we're not careful, as we put Jesus, from the nativity thing back in the box, if we're not careful, the idea that Jesus is the reason for the season is certainly true. But if that's all Jesus is the reason for the season, then it's like, okay, when the season's over, the reason goes away. And now he goes back in the box, literally, for us if we're not careful. And what if we move from Jesus is the reason for the season to Jesus is here all year? I couldn't think of something else that was clever and cute and funny and rhyme, but if he's here all year. And see, 2021 won't automatically get good. 2020 hit. Remember back, I think it was March 12th, and bam, like that. It just went boom. Everything instantly changed. We didn't get a chance to warm up to this, to get ready for this. Instantly changed. And so things getting back to normal won't happen as quickly as they got to unnormal for us. It's going to take some time for that to happen. And so in the midst of that, just as we're turning the corner, heading into next year, to 2021, just some perspective for you that maybe can help us think it through a little better. I think part of this is to recognize that Jesus is not just a baby born into a manger. What was the Will Ferrell movie? It was 6 pound, 8 ounce, gold-plated baby Jesus. If we're not careful, that's all he ever stays for us. A sentimental, sweet little baby Jesus in a manger kind of a thing. And I always feel like, man, if at Christmas time we don't talk about Easter, we've missed the whole point. It'd be like opening the Christmas card and the wrapping paper and looking at that and going, how awesome that is. Like, what? The presents in there, the cross and the resurrection is what it's all about. That Jesus came as a king to take over. His life, his miracles, his teaching, his death, and resurrection are not just religious ideas. He came to establish, I think he came to kind of wage war against everything that was evil and to establish a new kingdom. And you know what's implied in the fact that there is a new kingdom? That means you have a new king. I didn't fill them in. They weren't ready for that. They weren't sure. I have no idea. Yeah, you guys are used to that with all the Zoom screens with your kids going. It's as obvious right now. It wasn't obvious. We have a new king. What that means for us, if Jesus is king, COVID isn't king. Donald Trump isn't king. Joe Biden isn't king. Money isn't king. The vaccine isn't king. All the weird conspiracy theories out there, even if they're true, and they might be, if Jesus is king, it doesn't matter because Jesus is king. We're starting a new series next year. This may actually be the graphic for it. We may not get cute or fun or creative with it all. It may just look like that. Jesus is king. And Jesus alone is king. The gospel writers, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, give us various little scenes from Jesus' life. Miracles he did, things he said, all that and more. And at the end of the book of John, in John 20:31, John says it this way. He says, Jesus himself did so many more things than what we've written down here. He says, but these are written that you might believe that Jesus is the King. The old translations say Jesus is the Christ. You know what Christ means? King, the anointed one. That Jesus is the King, and by believing in him, you'll have life in his name. And so, man, I want you to get it. I hope I pound this into your heads and you never forget this next year. that Jesus and Jesus alone is the King. Here's why this is good news. Our culture, should even religion and spirituality versus Jesus. Culture and religion, whatever, says, I want God to make me feel better. And Jesus says, oh no, I want to help you get better. I want God to make me happy. And God says, oh no, I'm not interested in just making you happy. I want to make you holy. And you'll discover that as God makes you holy, and not the sanctified, weird, prissy, stupid versions of holiness, but real, robust, life-giving holiness. If you're holy, you're going to be the happiest you've ever been. We want God to save us from our problems. And Jesus said, I haven't come to save you from your problems. I've come to save you from your sin. Now, the truth is, when God saves you from your sin, he's saved you from your problems and the ultimate problem you have. We oftentimes want God to more function like an advice book. The Bible's like an advice book. God's my coach. God's my consultant. And Jesus says, oh, no, I'm not interested in being your coach or consultant. I'm here to be your king. I'm here to run your life. I want God to improve my life. And Jesus is going to say, I'm here to take your life and give you mine. Our culture is telling us, you're great. You're awesome. And if Jesus is king, he'd say, you're not that great. You're not that awesome. What he's going to tell us, here's the message of grace, is that you're all on the naughty list. There is no naughty and nice list with God. There is one list. Well, there's two lists. There's the naughty list over here. It's all over here. You know who's on the nice list? Jesus. He says, when you trade your life for mine, when you make me king of your life, not because of one thing that you did to make yourself nice, Jesus changes everything for you. He comes, this great person, to take over our lives. We'll be talking more about that this year. I'm super excited to be sharing stories. I got different guys coming in to help us do some of this next year in our Jesus is King series. But many years ago, I think I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I came across this story of this guy in Africa, and this is many, many years ago. He was a martyr, which means he was killed. And he wasn't killed because he did anything wrong. He was killed because he was a Christian. And after he was killed, as his family went through his home, they found a little journal book. And in that journal book, they found something. And I remember back then when I heard it, was so empowering, so encouraging, so life-giving, hearing this guy's fervency and commitment to Christ. And I thought, man, you know what kills off fervency in our life, in my life, in your life? Oftentimes it's just familiarity will kill fervency. It's just time. We just have grown so used to Jesus. And sometimes trials and difficulty will do it. But what I want to do with you here now is we wrap this up, and then and I'll read this for you, what they found in this journal in his home. And then Stephen and Crystal are going to join in and do a one last song here to kind of wrap it all up, and it'll fade off. And we'll say Happy New Year right now. But listen to this now. Here's what they found here. He says, I am a disciple of King Jesus. I'm a part of the fellowship of the unashamed. The die has been cast. I've stepped over the line. The decision has been made. I am a disciple of Jesus Christ. I will not look back, let up, slow down, back away, or be still. My past is redeemed. My present makes sense. My future is secure. I no longer need preeminence, prosperity, position, promotions, plaudits, or popularity. I don't have to be right, first, tops, recognized, praised, regarded, or rewarded. I now live by faith, love by patience, live by power, and labor by prayer. My pace is set. My gait is fast. My goal is heaven. My road is narrow. My way is rough. My companion's few. My guide reliable. My mission is clear. I cannot be bought, compromised, deterred, lured away, turned back, deluded, or delayed. I will not, and watch this is great, I will not flinch in the face of sacrifice, hesitate in the presence of adversity. I will not negotiate at the table of the enemy, ponder at the pool of popularity, nor meander in the maze of mediocrity. I will not give up, back up, let up, or shut up until I have prayed up, preached up, stored up, and stayed up for the cause of Jesus Christ. I am a disciple of Jesus Christ. I must go until he returns, give until I drop, preach until I'll know, and work until he comes. And when he comes to get me, he will have no problem recognizing me. My colors are flying high, and they are clear for all to see.